Bava Metziah Daf Gimel. Tashma, coming here, a proof from the Mishnah. If one found baker's loaves, they belong to him, which implies, but if he finds loaves of a homeowner, he's obligated to proclaim my time. My time. Since they have a siman, the mida yidin after the initial. One is because there is a distinguishable mark on the loaf. As each person shapes his loaves in a unique manner, it is known that the loaves of a person belong to that person. Which apparently teaches us that a distinguishable mark that is prone to be trampled is a distinguishable sim. Rabba will tell you that one does not pass by food without picking it up. A goyim were worried about sorcery. What about animals? I'm talking about a place where beasts and dogs are not commonly found. We say this that the machlekes between Rabba and Rava parallel to machlekes Tanaim. He says if one finds a lost item in which there's an alteration, he's obligated to proclaim and find. If he found a cake of pressed figs and this earthenware shard inside, Savaru, the Chum assumed have a siman. Everyone agrees that a legal status of a distinguishable mark that could come to mark an item that is owned without having been placed there intentionally is that of a distinguishable mark. And everyone agrees that one passes a food without picking it up. My love, must be that they're arguing in the matter of the distinguishable mark that is prone to be trampled, that they disagree. Mar Savar have a siman. If it enters in your mind that the first Tana holds that the legal status of a distinguishable mark that is prone to be trampled is not of a distinguishable mark, and that one passes, what do you? He's talking about a distinguishable mark that could have come to mark on its own that they disagree. Tanaka Masavar, he holds Simon Abamel of Lev. Simon of Yudah Savar, have a Simon. Rabbi Amalach Rabbi will tell you to hold Simon also the daughters Lev a Simon. Aim Avin Alechel. Basum Simon Abamel, come if you Tanaka Masavar Lev. Simon of Yudah have a Simon. Ikadamri, those who say that no. Sabru, the Kulama Simon Abamel have a Simon. Simon also the daughters Lev a Simon. I love Amir Alechel, come if you Masavar Mavin, Masavar, in Mavin. Amrazum Mishmedov, Isokadai of Savar Tanakam Simnos, there's Levisim, I've been a lechel, Kershal based not Mishadam, my Machris. Why are you announcing it? Amrazum Mishmedov, the Kulama Savria, Simnos, Lidaris, have a sim. I've been all lechel, about Melo, Tanaka Masavar, Simon Melo, Levisim, of the Savar, Simon, Rabbi Malach, Kulama Simnos, Lidaris, Levisim, and been a lechel, Bismanaba, Melo, Tanaka Masavar, Simon Melo, Levisim, of the Avisim. Araz Mishmedov, Klala, Davida, Kivin Dam, Violin, the Cheshin, Yash Lamian. Principle of a lost item is once the owner of the lost item says, woe to me for the monetary loss, this indicates that he despaired of its recovery. The Mishnah says strings of a fish are amongst the list of items that one must keep, that one may keep. Why not the knot which the fish outside serves as a distinguishable mark? Bekita decided the kulam have a mikatri. Talking about a fisherman's knot, which everyone ties the fish in this wake. Why not let the number of how many strings is tied be a distinguishable mark? Talking about a number of fish that's equal to all of the strings in the fish area. Is their number of distinguishable mark, is it a distinguishable mark or not? I want to share just an assume. Lots of clickets with lineages. Kistri shall have Michelle Click Matres. Harazella Yasar Cheat and Ace. She's coming Mishkalesov. Umidishkalesov. I have a simon. Minion I have a simon. If one found silver vessels, copper vessels, fragments of lead, any metal vessels, that a person who found them shall not return that into its owner until the owner provides a distinguishable sign, or until the owner accurately provides its weight. And from the fact that the weight serves as a distinguishable mark, measurement and number also serves as a distinguishable mark. Cuts of meat. And why not let the weight of the cut serve as a distinguishable mark? My answer is b'mishkala and deshavin, referring to a weight that is equal. Why not let the cut of meat serve as a distinguishing mark, either from the neck or from the thigh of the animal? If a person found cuts of fish or cuts of meat that was bitten, he's obligated to machris. Found cuts of fish or fish that was bitten, he's obligated to proclaim it's found. And if you found barrels of wine or oil over grain or dried figs, they belong to him. Apparently, the siman of cuts of fish or meat from fish, this siman in the cuts of fish is part of the fish from which they were cut. So we're talking about a case where there is a distinguishable mark on the shape of the cut. He would cut the meat in three corners. Master said, barrels of wine, of oil, of grain, or dried figs, or the olives, they belong to him. But then we learn in the Mishnah, jugs of wine and jugs of oil, person's obligated to be machaz. The Mishnah is referring to the case of sealed drugs. The price is referring to a case of open barrels. And if it's pasuach, Rav Ashi has been made. So talking about a case that the Bryce is referring to a case where one covers the barrel with the lid, but does not seal it. Abaya says, even if you see that both the Mishnah and the Bryce are referring to jugs and barrels that are sealed. The kash is not a question. Here in the Mishnah, where one is required to turn jugs, is referring to a case where one found the jugs before the storehouses of wine were open. It's a case where Yaakov bar Abba found a barrel of wine after the storehouses were open. Take it for yourself. Is a place where the loss is a distinguishable mark or not? Talking about a case where let him announce the place. Talking about on the bank of the river. Since the place where the ships dock and merchandise belonging to the many people is loaded and unloaded, the bank of the river cannot serve as a distinguishing mark. Omer Rav Martin says, my time Omer Rabbana Raks Den Har Lehav Simon. What is the reason that the Chum say the banks of the river is not a distinguishable mark? It's because we say that just as it happened that you lost the lost item there, it happened that another lost item there. You get my time that Omer Rabbanan Lev Simon just as we say, just as it happened that you placed an item in that place, it also happened that another place in that place. There was a man who found a pitch near the wine press. Take it for yourself. He saw that he was hesitating. Go and divide it with Chia, my son. No, it's because due to the spirit of its owner that the Chum touched upon it. As Rav saw the grass was growing through the pitch. Shimon Lazar Imer, my anpura. What is anpura? New vessels as the eye, its purchaser has not yet sufficiently seen them to be able to recognize them. So if there's this distinguishable mark on the kelim, I have it. When the eye of the purchaser has not yet sufficiently seen them, what of it? And less basimin kisavasanaim I have it. But actually, it's vessel in which there is no distinguishable mark. And the practical difference is with regard to returning of the vessel of the Torah scholar. So what's an ayin? When the eye of the Torah scholar has sufficiently seen them, he is certain about them, and we return lost item to him. It is with regard to these three matters alone, it is normal for Chum to amend their statements and deviate from the truth. What is that? Mesechta. With regard to the tract, he's asked whether he studied this Mesechta, so he humbly said he did not, even if he did. With regard to bed, if he's asked whether he slept in a particular bed, he may say that he did not, to avoid shame in the case that unseemingly residue was found in the bed. And he can lie with regard to hosts, as one may say that he was not well received by a certain host to prevent everyone from taking advantage of the host's hospitality. What's the practical difference between them? Returning a lost item on the basis of visual recognition. If we know that about him that he alters his statement only with regards to these three matters, then we could return these. We could turn it. If he changes other things, then we cannot return the lost item.